All right, joining me at this time, my first live interview guest. They are known as Lexington, Kentucky's only ska punk rock band. Very happy to have you. Love customers. Now, how's it going?
Hey, what up?
Good, good, good. Thank you all for joining me on this Saturday evening. Truly appreciate it.
The pleasure is ours.
All right, so before I get into the questions, when I have a band on the show, I like to do a roll call. So all those who are in the phone line, just so everybody knows who's on the air with us right now, say your name and what role do you play on the band. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I'm Thomas Cornett, the trombone player.
I am Brad Minton. I play the guitar.
And Mark Trusty, saxophone.
It's just us three tonight. You only have 3/8 of the rough cutter system.
Yeah, fellas, okay. It's all good.
We tried to get our singer, but she had to work tonight, so.
Oh, understandable. Gotta get that
Everyone
money.
put snows here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, yes. So, I'm a fan of y'all, obviously, and when I interview a local act that I've seen perform before, I like to tell a story. The first time I see y'all perform was at the old Cosmic Charlie's at Woodland Avenue. What I remember was Dix, a.k.a. Simba, was another ska punk band, Soundtrack 96. They were at Ohio, and you guys and lady were the last act of that particular show. And I was introduced to the genre that y'all known for, and I dig the set. I really enjoyed it.
Well, good. I'm glad with you. When I started this band, I was kind of unfamiliar with ska, the genre, and TJ here is big into it, and so, in fact, TJ is the reason why I'm in the band. So he introduced me to the band and to ska music.
Okay. So I definitely I like that genre in particular. I like the energy and everything, and people. It's definitely a feel-good type of music, and people just, because what's going on today. And every now and then you need the type of music that you guys do to just say, bump all this. Let's just enjoy life. Let's have a good time. And
Yeah, you're definitely right there. That's kind of the way we like to look at everything too. We have, there's a few times when we get serious, but for the most part, we like to cut jokes and be funny in our personal lives. So I guess a lot of times when we're writing songs and when we're on stage, we try to have fun too. Because I think, just like you said, you said it best. Sometimes when there's a lot going on, especially the news here, some of the news headlines here in recent months. Sometimes you just want to get out to a show and dance, and you want to maybe see that sort of thing. So that's the kind of things we try to pass that on to everyone that comes to the show too.
so as far as being part on the local music scene, y'all get to perform at a lot of venues and things like that. I have not been to the new Cosmic Charlie's yet, but from what people have told me, it's good, and I look forward to it. Now, from y'all experiences, what are some of y'all favorite venues that y'all like to perform in?
I personally like I like a lot of all of them actually. I like the smaller one because we like to have people right up on us, and the Green Lantern's always been fun because people are right near us, and it's way more in a setting. Cosmic's always been great. There's plenty of room for us to spread out. There's 8 members in the band, so it's nice to play at Cosmic as well.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed that place. I'm definitely going to miss the old one. I had so many memories there. I saw a lot of my friends perform in that building. And, I at least they're not closed. They've been relocated, and that's it's still a place for local acts like yourselves to perform. So there's a lot of great artists on local music scene, and to see Ultimate Charlie's to continue elsewhere was pretty good.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, we're looking forward. I know we're trying to get a show booked over there sometime in the future. Um, we've always enjoyed Cosmic. I mean, we play all the time at Al's Bar. We're like the Al's ambassador. but we enjoy it. I mean, playing there it's funny. We like intimate venues, but we need a big stage because there's 8 of us to get on there.
I miss house shows. We used to play house shows, and that's always fun to get 8 into a small percent. Shows going on, give us a call. We need house shows to play.
There you go.
What's cool about the number of venues now is that we get to play with a lot of different bands. I mean, there's not really any other ska bands in Kentucky. Which side note, maybe we can be voted as the ska band at the Lexington Music Awards if they would create a category for us. I don't know the chances. I'm throwing it out there. But, so because of that, we have to play with a lot of different bands too that are play with some metal bands and some folk groups, and and Derek's a good friend of ours. We go to play with him, acoustic acts and things like that. We've played on some diverse shows at some different places, which I think we really enjoy. But I think sometimes people like that too. They have had diverse in music. Maybe you don't want to see 4 or 5 punk bands, maybe you want to see something else. And the different venues and all the different bands, it really it's really in Lexington now the diversity in the music is maybe the best it's been in my adult life since I've been in bands and going to shows.
There's a whole lot of type of genres in rock music, and you guys separate y'all obviously from everyone else, and I definitely like what y'all do. I like what y'all bring to the table on the local scene, and I really wanted to be there at Al's Bar this past Thursday, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I couldn't. I know y'all got a show coming up at Best Friends Bar. I'll talk about the show coming up.
Well, yes, on January 20th, and it's cool. We've only been at Best Friend Bar one time, and it was a great show, great place to play, and great burritos, by the way.
Great burritos. So everyone come out and get a burrito, and while you're there, you can listen to some ska music, among other kind of music.
Yeah, it's going to be us with we'll be there obviously. He's Dead Jim and Bruce Russell and White, who I think this might be their first show actually. So we haven't played with any of them yet. So it's always exciting to play with bands we haven't played with before, and it's at a cool venue too. So it's definitely what I think people would want to check out.
Definitely a show to check out for sure. For those who never had the opportunity to see you guys perform before, what can people expect when they see a Rough Customer set that makes y'all different from anyone else?
First, I'd say a lot of uncoordinated dancing, maybe a trombone going past their face, unintentionally. I get kind of out of control with my trombone. It's a lot of and there's a lot of dancing, a lot of fun.
For sure. I mean, like you started off with, we try to, our songs are pretty lighthearted. We try to bring feel-good kind of music. I don't know that we have a couple songs that somebody might consider downers, and we play them every now and then, but not as often. We definitely bring a pretty solid energy with some very uncoordinated dance maneuvers, but we also like to, when we're playing stuff, we usually throw in a cover song. So if you come to our show and you decide you hate ska, we might at least play a song that you know.
Plus, we like a lot of crowd participation too. So we have dance moves that we throw in there, and every now and then we might throw an instrument out like a tambourine or a cowbell or something. So that's always fun to get everybody involved.
well, from experience, the Wolf Customers are an incredible band, and I will say this, because the ska punk thing is definitely new to me, so I'm just, getting the hang of it, try to get the hang of the moves and stuff like that. Um, my advice to those who ever go see a ska punk band, keep your distance, cause
Definitely. Sorry about that, everybody.
yeah,
I get a little out of control sometimes.
yeah. So keep your distance, and have fun, and watch the guy with the trombone too. Watch out for that.
Well, that's the main point. That's why we do it, is because we want to have fun. And if we have fun, and if the crowd has fun, then I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
We just, we're all have multiple backgrounds in music and things that we like and things we don't like, and so it's kind of cool when all that comes together, because like I said, I wasn't really into the whole ska movement before I started the band, so I got introduced to it, and I really like it. I mean, anything with a horn section I kind of like. So, but yeah, I mean, it's super fun.
That was one of our missions when we did start. You said there's a lot of dark things in the world, and we've been a band for almost 10 years, and Tim, the bass player, and myself, we promised ourselves that if we're going to do another band, that we're going to make the most positive, happy music that we can, and ska music just kind of fit the bill for that. It's fun. Like, it's almost impossible to be unhappy when you're listening to ska.
Very, very true. And let me ask y'all this. Do y'all have any favorite moments, favorite memories that stand to the band? It could be a show that y'all attend to. It could be an act that y'all seen on the same show that y'all was on. You have any favorite memories, favorite moments?
Well, I would say if I had to pick my favorite show, I would think, if everybody can think back 4 years now to December 2012, when it was the end of the Mayan calendar, and everybody had called for the end of the world according to the Mayans. We had a great show that night at Cosmic Charlie's with the Fourth Theater Reunion, who was one of my favorite bands from here in town. They were great to have us on the show with them, with several other acts. And that show was a great crowd. The energy was great, and just the atmosphere in there was just unbelievable. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. So, if I had to pick my favorite show, it would probably be that one for sure.
My favorite time is the tours, like when we used to go on tour a lot. I love to, stay at houses and meet people out on the road. And probably my favorite memory, I think, is probably the rock. I made a show and ended up going to this other band's house, and there was not much room. You couldn't really see the floor, and pretty much the only place to sleep was this dog bed. So I just kind of cuddled up and went on this dog bed and laid on it. So everyone kind of gave me a hard time for that I just slept on the floor. So just tour stories and things like that. That's my favorite part.
TJ can get comfy anywhere. That's like his superpower.
That is true. He can get comfortable literally any position, anywhere. I mean, that's kind of mine. I mean, we had some excellent shows. I mean, that the show that Brad talked about with the end of the year show, or end of time show in 2012 was great. I also liked the time, and I can't remember dates or anything, so somebody, when we did the was that?
That was it.
That was it. Oh, we'll see, that's exactly it. We covered 99 Red Balloons by knee, and we blew up 99 red balloons and put them in the rafters, and when we started playing the song, we dropped them. So that was pretty fun, and the crowd was crazy.
And I just want to say sorry to Cosmic Charlie's because we accidentally left a tarp hanging in the ceiling that night to hold the balloons. So whoever had to take that tarp, I'm sorry. It was a good time though. So
it was a great time.
Thank you to Cosmic Charlie's for that.
And yeah, the tour, like when we go out, play a show at different places. Sometimes it's really awesome. Sometimes maybe not as awesome, but we still have fun. It's the main thing. We all find a way to still have fun, and if it's hot or the conditions aren't favorable, which happens a lot when you play dive bars. But that's fine though. That's what we enjoy, and we have. There's actually a ton of stories that we could tell, but I'll probably shouldn't, because just to protect the innocent.
To change the name.
Yeah.
So the name, the Rough Customers, like who came up with the name of that, and what's the meaning behind it?
That would be Tim that came up with that name. In our early years, I don't know what, we kind of went through about 10 names early on. One of them being the Iron Mike and the Full Nelson Slam. That was one of them. And then another one was the Iron Mike, the Diet Brown. I don't know what that means. Like, what's the Diet Brown? I don't know. So 10 years ago, we were kind of crazy, but Tim eventually decided that the Rough Customers sounded pretty cool, and at that time, we just didn't know what to do with the Rough Customers, because I guess the joke is that there's 8 of us, and we're the Rough Customers, but if you look at us, we're clearly not that rough. So that's the fun part.
Indeed, we are pretty much people you want to meet, and
Depends on who you ask.
that's true. but yeah, and that's pretty much it. I can remember the time, and I remember Tim saying the name, and I was like, sounds good to me, and then that was pretty much my opinion. And they were trying to impress me, though, I think, because the first names included my name in the band, so I think they were excited for a while, and now they're just like, whatever,
Plus, we like shopping carts. We wanted to take pictures of the shopping cart that we found, so we were thinking, the Rough Customers, we can take pictures in a grocery store, like pouring Cheerios on us or something like that, just being crazy, being Rough Customers. And, we took one picture with the shopping cart and haven't really done that anymore, but the name stuck. So 10 years later, we're the Rough Customers.
A decade and counting. That is awesome. Now, Mike, I'm a wrestling fan, and I know you have a wrestling background. Talk about that.
Well, I've been doing that just about as long, maybe I think 11 years. Wrestling is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's the training is gruesome, but you got a lot to do, and I love it. And I still do it. I still wrestle. In fact, I'm going up next Saturday to Madison, Indiana to wrestle. And but yeah, it's physically demanding, but it's close if you're the heel or the back, which I am on a tag team. And my partner, who used to be my band director in high school, in fact, for a couple years, we are a team. We're called Big and Tasty, and we've wrestled, as a team for, oh gosh, about 10 years now, and I love it. I mean, he is super on the mic, which be part of the interviews, and he can talk, and it's so entertaining. And then and I stand there, and I'm the heavy. I'm the the guy that stands behind him and is like, yeah, but yeah, it's people will come up, when I get to talking to folks that I'm just introduced to, and they're like, well, what do you do? And I tell them what I do. I play in this awesome band, and I'm a professional wrestler as well. And they're like, well, that's a pretty interesting life, and I have to admit it is.
Come in, come to our shows. You might be enough to have Mike's skills cross paths, and there might be one of the wrestling. Are they called leotards? The singlets?
Yeah.
Oh, not leotards. So yeah, so you might get a little bit of Mike in his singlet wrestling uniform while he's having a good time.
Yeah, more
It's been awful.
occasions I've worn my wrestling gear with the boots and all of it. So, for whatever reason, maybe it's Halloween or some kind of situation where we needed a costume. So I'm like, well, I can wear my wrestling gear. So,
Man, I love wrestling myself. Been a fan for many
I know.
years. Co-workers give me a hard time about it. I mean, I guess they don't understand the art form. And I have if you look at my closet, right now, there's hundreds of shirts. I'm talking Attitude Era type of T-shirts. I'm talking late 2000s, bad guys, tag teams, don't matter. I got tons of shirts. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
And I wear them to work, so I'm basically the dude that wears the wrestling shirts.
Well, you know what? You never let anybody give you a hard time about liking wrestling, and never tell them, never let anybody tell you that pro wrestling is. That's the one thing that pro wrestlers hate more than anything.
Hey, we've seen the bruises on Mike. Let's not say.
Oh, I definitely understand for sure. Definitely understand.
I would have picked up a saxophone before after wrestling, so it's definitely not fake.
I may need to work one day and demonstrate some of my coworkers that.
I'll be happy to stretch some people.
Demonstrate them. Let them know a little bit. Give them 5 minutes or something. See if they can take it or whatever. But
that's right. That's right. It's that's kind of what they used to do. To question the validity of wrestling, and they're like, if you can pin this guy in 3 minutes, we'll pay you $100 or whatever. And I don't know that anybody ever got paid.
I like that one. I like that one for real. Before I let y'all go, why don't you go ahead and promote the social media links of the Wealth customers and where they can go for the music and upcoming shows.
Well, we do have a website now, which is just theroughcustomers.com. We have our music on there that you can stream or download our music. Yeah. We also have the most up-to-date, most of it is on Facebook. You can just look for the Rough Customers on there. And I believe we're the only Rough Customers band in the nation. And also the Twitter is at TRCSKA. That's TRCSKA. You can get us on there. We're
Twitter.
We're trying to build up our Twitter presence a little bit, but those spots are the main places to go. And as I said, the website where you can go to share tunes and listen to what we're all about.
Some new music coming soon, actually.
Yes, we'll have some new music with our current lineup up there. It's going to be a little while, but it'll be sooner than later.
Well, definitely let me know when that music comes out, and I'll play it while here on the show for sure.
Awesome.
And I want to thank you all for being here. You are officially my first live guest of 2017. So.
All right. Well, we'll put that on our resume.
Oh. We would never show you like some people might do.
Oh, man. But great chatting with you fellas. Continue success. And I look forward to seeing you guys many more in the future.
Sounds very good.
Thanks, Eddie, man. It was a lot of fun, and we wish you continued success with your podcast.
Absolutely, man. You all have a good night. Have a great weekend.
You do the same.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That